Welcome, gentlemen. Welcome to the today is not the Principals Podcast. Today is Coach's Corner. So we have a little bit going on here on both sides of the ball, so to say. Typically, I like to do a Principals Podcast when I introduce a new staff member, which I will do today. But because this is athletic minded, we will call this a Coach's Corner for the week. We haven't done one in a while. So it's good to have everybody with us here at Somerset Academies of Texas. I hope you're having a great summer out there. I know we are. We have got a lot going on, trying to get everything ready for all your children to come back and hang out with us. Athletically, we have a whole lot going on. So we're going to start today. We're going to meet our new SLAM director. And then also with this, we have an amazing man, local community pastor. He's a parent of students that go to school here with us, and he is also our basketball coach. So we're going to talk about a few things together and hopefully, entice you to see all the great things that are going on at Somerset Academies of Texas. And in particular, for this one, it will be for our collegiate campus, which we have our AD, Coach Joel Soffit, here from collegiate. And of course, I'm still the interim principal. We will continue down that path for a while until we get everything where we want it to be. So without further ado, to my right, we have Coach Walker, Mr. John Walker, Johnny Walker. Yeah. We're going to let him tell his story first, and then we'll meet Coach Munnerlyn as well.
Well, I'm definitely excited to be a part of a Somerset Collegiate. I'm glad that I've had the opportunity to meet some of these great gentlemen here. But one of the things that I was excited about coming here is the SLAM program that you have here, which is sports leadership and management. And I wanted to utilize some of the things that I've been able to do in my life, growing up here in San Antonio, having the opportunity to go play collegiately at the University of Texas, having also the opportunity to play professionally with the Green Bay Packers and play professional baseball in the Atlanta Braves organization. So all of that, going to bring that to the table and utilize that to make Somerset Collegiate one of the best high schools, best school programs in San Antonio.
Where'd you grow up, sir?
I grew up here in San Antonio. I went to Holmes High School, right down the street.
Well, that matters to Texans, A little birdie told me that you might also be in the Texas Hall of Fame. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was very exciting. I got the opportunity to be inducted into the Texas High School Hall of Fame. One of only 10 San Antonio athletes to be able to induct into the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame. So it was very blessed to get that honor. And I think the thing that stood out to me the most when I got the opportunity to be inducted into a Hall of Fame, one of the people that was in my class was the infamous Mean Joe Green. So I hated the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan to life. That's how I'm going to be. But
you knows how to speak to the people.
I think when he got up and he did his presentation where he talked about being inducted to the Hall of Fame, and he told everyone that it meant more to him to be inducted into the Texas High School Football Hall of Fame than even being inducted to the NFL Hall of Fame, because it was such an honor and it was so hard to be inducted into the Texas High School Hall of Fame. So it just added validity for me to be inducted. So I was very blessed to have that opportunity.
That's amazing. And I see you're wearing your NFL alumni shirt today.
I am. I'm wearing it. Yes,
wearing
I'm representing.
It proud. Yeah. I don't want to pay any copyright infringement fees here, so I'll leave it at that. But it's great to have you on board. You and I met about, 4 months ago, 3 months ago through an interview process for another campus, and got to talking, and we were like, man, you really are embodying the things we want to do here with our SLAM program. And having you on board, I think, will be a turning point for our kids and our school. And I'm just really excited that you've agreed to join us. And I love your ideas. You got so many things that you want to do and you want to see for our kids. And I'm glad that we're on the same page with a lot of that. I am disappointed though. You didn't get your new.
Oh, you know what?
Your new Somerset Academy hat over there.
I got to feel it out. I hadn't drank my Celsius yet, so I was waiting to. No, I definitely will have all the SLAM gear. I know that we got some things that we're cooking up, and we're going to make sure that whenever you get your SLAM gear, everybody's going to know that you're a part of Somerset Collegiate.
I love it. We're going to skip Soffit for a minute because you all know him. But I want to go to Coach Munnerlyn, who is, like I said, a parent, a local pastor, but also He does coach basketball here for us. He's an amazing coach. Tell us a little bit about what you do here, and then I want to hear kind of more about your perspective of why it's working. What's working here and why?
Again, Coach Eric Munnerlin, been here. I think this is going into the 6th year coaching the girls team. As far as what I do, title-wise, I guess I'm the varsity girls head coach, kind of over the girls side of the program. But in extension, I just love kids. I just want to see kids be successful. So for me, it's about lending quality, quality help into any aspect of their life, helping them to succeed first of all in the classroom, secondly on the court, and in hopes that transitions into some things in the community. Better sons, better daughters, better community people. And the way I'd go about that, honestly, is just showing them I care. I believe that if I can prove or show that, hey, no matter what, you got one person in your corner, then that translates through relationship to production at various levels of their life. So, for me, I think that part of that is I know it was community that saved my life. Growing up in the inner city, I grew up in an era where gangs had become very prevalent in Denver, Colorado. Summer violence, task force. I mean, just the amount of violence was crazy, and it wasn't. It was community that saved me. It was the advisor who would say, "Hey, come in here and have lunch with me." It was my basketball coach who would spend time, and while he's teaching me free throws, he's talking to me about life. It was the assistant coach who would take time to just give some diligent things that in many cases I didn't learn or didn't know because I didn't have a father at home. So I take that same philosophy and approach it with these young ladies and young men that, hey, it's going to be all right, and we're going to get through this together.
I love what you say about that, and I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole here, but it's important to me, wherever I'm at, whatever my life brings me to get that understanding out there about community and how important it is. We do too much, in my opinion, and it works none of the time, but we do way too much check writing in our country and not enough community building. And that community building is so much more important than anything else, because I think the one thing that we all need, and it doesn't matter what age you are, doesn't matter what your background, your personal choices, any of that. Everybody's looking for mentorship. They're looking to learn something from somebody else.
Yes.
Often we were afraid to ask for that. And so I think that's why K-12 schools are so fundamentally important, is we encourage kids, we create environments that encourage kids to seek out that advice, to look for people to help them make decisions. And really, we don't want to influence the outcome of the decision. We want to teach them the skills that they can use forever in their life to be good decision makers, and who to seek guidance from and how you go about that. As an English teacher, right? That's how I started. I always said relevance, credibility, reliability, validity, right? Those are the three things you have to look for in life before you can make an informed decision about whatever it is. And so mentorship is number one on my list. I always walk around and I say, no child should walk through our hallways and not have an advocate on this campus.
Right.
If we have 1,100 kids, all 1,100 of those kids got to have at least one person that they connect to on our campus. It's really important. So I'm really glad that you brought that up.
I think it's a part of it. And that's part of the reason why, as I've said to you so many times, that's part of the reason why I trust this school with my children. I know I coach basketball, but I'm a father first. And that's important to me. The next steps, the future of my children, the decisions they make, those are things that are important to me, as I believe they are for all parents. And so the major reason, the focal point of them being here is community. It's community, and the stability of community breeds the success of my children. So yes, it's a no-brainer for me.
And I definitely wanted to share that was one of the things that sold me when I I was meeting everyone, and you took me on a tour of the campus, and being able to feel that energy and be able to feel that brotherhood, that love. I think that's so important. I think there's so many schools who miss that dynamic, and that affects the overall outcome of the school. And I think that was what was so great about being here, and made it easy for me to make a decision to come on board.
I love it. And you do tell me that all the time. And you know, speaking about that stability piece, you've been here 6 years. This doors have only been open 8, right, Coach? How long have you been here?
6. Me
6?
and Coach Munderland came at the same time.
So I think that's really important that you consider yourself part of this family and part of this community. I always say this is a Somerset family. And this is a different podcast, but when we first started doing these, I come from, you know, some of the oldest Somersets in our whole network nationwide. We've been in business since 1997, 98. You know, it's a long time. And I look at our campus and it's so gorgeous and it's amazing. And I just remember that this whole network of 40,000 students started in a movie theater.
Wow.
During the day. They would rent the movie theater and teach kids in a movie theater.
Wow.
Right. And then one of our campuses started literally in a pool house in a gated community because it was the only place we could rent in that part of town. And so to grow to where we're at now with, you know, what is it, 40 schools? It's maybe more than that. Man, I can't even remember. But I think that family component and helping people find what it is that we're all looking for something. And that's what I found here is the community family piece is so important. And that's why I will always be a Somerset for life. Like it's what I want to do. So I just want to say that don't sell yourself short. You're part of that family. You're not looking for it. You're building it with us. And I love that.
Thank you.
What about you, Coach? 6 years. What's been going on with you?
Associates.
You get anything done this summer?
Yeah, or something else. We did. You know, we've had our strength and conditioning camps in the summer, and we've even added a change that we hadn't done before, but added open gym, an opportunity for kids to come bring their friends, show them the school, you know, and bring them in and play and meet the coaches. You know, the commitment from the coaches over the summer has been great. You know, same coaches every week showing up, the same coaches showing up every day, familiarity, building that community in the athletic program. You know, they hear me with the pillars. They hear me all the time during the school year. And I think the summer is a perfect time that other coaches are instilling that into the kids that come in the summer and really watch what we're trying to build here with our pillars be told through somebody else.
Yeah,
you know, it's 100%. Coach Lawson's here every day, you know, and he really like. I try to beat him here. He's here before me. You know, he's ready to work. You know, Coach Gilmore on the volleyball side, and
you can't even get in the gym. I mean, there must be 100 kids in there playing volleyball 4 hours a day. It's awesome. I mean,
it is, and even with you know,
amateur.
Yeah,
amateur.
And they're making fun of me. But
see me in my office after.
But you know, with Coach Gilmore with the volleyball side, you know, Coach Freeman's been here every week to help with the strength and conditioning down on the field from 8 to 10. You know, we have our cheer team up here doing conditioning in the summer. We've really taken the next steps that I feel we've needed to take, and we've taken them. And it's about taking them and continuing to grow off of them. And really, you know, we've even had Coach Kemper has had some of her collegiate people she knows that play collegiate ball come and talk to our kids and work out with our kids and really talk to them about the same things we're trying to tell them. It's the same thing. Sometimes your dad tells you something, you're like, man, okay. And then you say, my coach told me this. And it's like, well, I've been trying to tell you that for a long time. And them hearing it from somebody else who's actually living it and doing it is great. So our summer programs have been the best that I think they've ever been.
You know, Coach, you brought up an interesting point when you were talking about the pillars, and can you give us a little background about what the pillars are, what that means?
Absolutely. I know the first podcast we tried to talk about them. I think we got sidetracked because me and Coach Oliver like to talk. But yes, sir. I can. You know, the first one, Coach Munderland mentioned it. The classroom matters. Our middle pillar is student athlete. They got to pass to play, but they're here to be students first and athletes second. That's why the pillars are something that the whole school goes off of.
Well, that's our mission, right? Like,
Absolutely.
we're a charter school because academics matter. Like,
Yes.
that's our mission.
And like you say, athletics doesn't happen unless all the other academic stuff happens.
If I could interject, you said something about the academic side of it. So again, as a parent, when I brought my daughter here, math was a struggle. So I knew that she'd get lost, in a bigger school. It's like shooting myself in the foot. This is going to be a battle. So I needed to find a place that would be instrumental in helping her through that process and grow in a comfortable place. So again, the academic side of what was presented and even given was hands down satisfactory for me because it was able to meet the need of my child. And I think that sometimes we overlook that as a parent and even as a person who is invested in the culture and community here. I think that that's something that is overlooked and may perhaps not talked about enough. That's factual that this school was able to meet a need that now has progressed and helped her in college. She's in school to be a culinary chef. Math is no longer an issue because of the community here. That is awesome.
No, I love that. It's a great story. We want to build our alumni network up too, because we're 8 years into this thing. And she might be a great person to come out and share her story. The alumni matter to us so much that alumni end up on a lot of our boards. Students, they're 20 years old and they end up my boss. And I love it because that's what we're here for kids. So, we're going to be working on that this year as well, building that alumni community back up. The one thing you didn't mention, though, Coach, that I'm extremely proud of right now is we're going to be the first San Antonio charter school with a full marching band this year.
Oh, yeah.
And if you don't think marching band is athletic,
That's awesome. That's amazing.
it is definitely part of the sport. It can be the difference maker in a game. If your band is awesome, you need that extra oomph to get you over the line. They can do that for you. Cheerleaders do that too. But having the first marching band in a charter school in San Antonio is going to be a big deal for us. And they started this week as well. We have flag corps. We have all those things happening, and we're going to do a separate podcast just for them soon. But I just wanted to put that out there because it's another change that we've made this year, and I know that a lot of families are really excited about that.
Yeah, I think that's great. I mean, the whole point is for all our programs to grow. And speaking on the mentorship, like you said, one of our other pillars is leadership, and it ties into the SLAM, teaching kids to be leaders. And it's a tough thing to do. I said sometimes you're going to be leader by how you talk. Sometimes you're going to be leader your body language. Sometimes to be leader just how you act. And
Sometimes you're a leader when you don't ask for it.
That too. And we have a bunch of leaders as athletes, and they don't even know it. And that's, having, the support of coaches and like you said, having somebody to go to, a mentor for them, and having that person to help guide them. I always tell them too, I'm comfortable talking in front of all of you all the time and talking, but I was not always like that. It took time. Because it's hard to get in front of a whole class of and parents at parent meetings and stuff, and everybody's listening to you. Like public speaking, like it's something you had to work on, and you had to get used to it, and it's just from there and leading the coaches as the athletic director. It's all about community and relationships, and I always tell them, bring ideas to the table, because I think it's the only way we get better as a group and as a unit.
That's two pillars. What are the other ones?
Yeah. The other one is commitment, because I feel nowadays it's real easy to drop what you're doing and try something else. And, hey, we're on the football team. We're 0-5. I'm going to quit, but I'm going to play basketball. And commitment's hard, and commitment to what we do and what we stand for. Commitment in the summer. Like, are you here working out? Are you here showing up in the gym? I always tell the kids, your neighborhood swimming pools, Fiesta, Texas, SeaWorld, they don't open until 11, 12 o'clock. We work out from 8 to 10, and then we have other workouts from 10 to 12. Like, come here first and then go enjoy the rest of your day. Put in that time, put in that extra work when other people aren't. We always say, there's always somebody else working when you're not working. And so you need to take that next step. We, in our last podcast, we talked about, the NCAA portal and stuff. Like we accomplished that at the end of the year, getting the kids in the portal and starting with field level, and and going into next year, taking it to the next level with making sure the kids had the videos with the audio and visual program that we have, and creating like the film that we have, and those different things to help kids help themselves out further down the road.
Everybody wants to know the secret to success, and each field I'm sure has their own secrets, right? But the two things that nobody ever talks about that are not secrets, they're blatantly obvious, is that commitment to work ethic, right? It's the same thing. Work ethic and commitment are the same thing. And the other one is, can you manage your emotions? And those are the two most important things to success. And I don't care what field you're in. If you can do those two things, you're going to win. You're going to be competitive. You're going to excel. And you can't do the other secrets mean nothing if you can't master those two things. And that's what I love about athletics is they help you learn that at a very young age.
The first year I got here, something I did was, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I show up in our first practice, I got a hard hat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I remember.
I show up with a hard hat, and every year we have a hard hat. And I tell the girls, my favorite is whoever works the hardest that day. That's my favorite because I believe hard work beats talent when talent won't work hard. So I showed up with a hard hat. You get the hard hat, you get to sign it. You sign it, they put a little polish over it so their name stays. And that's our incentive every year, just to work hard. Not, it's not a coupon to Jersey Mike's or anything like that. It's just simply, this is you might have seen them walking around the school with it. This is my proof. This is what I get to show everybody in the school that I did.
I love that.
As a team, we work hard as a team, but this is my piece, my stake. I can prove to you I worked hard. Hard work, yeah.
I like that.
I like the
You're gonna say
the
something?
hard hat.
No, I love that idea. I love that concept. I think that's amazing. I also like the whole idea about pillars, but I think what really sold me about coming to Somerset Collegiate was the SLAM and the like I talked about, it was sports leadership and management. And I also like the idea of the schools within the school. So it's made up of 4 different schools where you have digital communications, exercise and wellness, healthcare, therapeutics, and business. So your children will have options when they come to our school. And unlike some of the other school districts that they might get involved, whenever you pick a different school within the school, you've got to go way across the other side of town to be able to participate in that. Yeah. I think the great thing that we have here at Somerset Collegiate is all of our schools are here on campus. So you have the opportunity to stay in here, be a part of the family, and that family unit still continuing to develop in that culture. So I love that concept, and I love what we're doing.
Great. Pillar 4.
Pillar 4. Accountability. I'm going to save my favorite one for last, but accountability. And I always tell the kids, this is the one where I got to be the bad guy because it's me teaching them, or the coaches teaching them, hey, either you've done right or you've done wrong, but you got to be held accountable for your actions, whether they're good or bad. And a lot of times just owning up to it is a lot. A lot of kids, they make mistakes in games, or, we have our strike policy in our athletic program. They mess up, they get in trouble, they get a strike. It's not for me to be like, I got you. It's, hey, look, you did this, but what did you do? What could you have done differently? And I always talk to all of them. Their parents have to sign it. They have to sign it. And it's them basically owning up, but at the same time, them learning from, because it's all about learning with the kids. It's all process with the kids. And I tell them it sucks because I have to be the bad guy, but I also tell them it's like parenting. Like I'm here to help guide you. And you're going to make mistakes along the road, but it's about learning from them and getting better from them, and turning the negative into a positive.
That's my favorite one too, because that's the one you and I talk about the most, right? Me, you, and Dean Bonillas.
Absolutely.
Because if there's an issue that happens, and I know this, it doesn't happen. The kids, you probably wouldn't be shocked to hear this, but when someone brings something to my attention, a parent comes in, and you're great, honestly, about calling me the night before. Hey, something happened at this baseball game. I don't know if mom or dad's going to reach out, or sometimes you'll say, hey, this was significant enough. I'm going to reach out again in the morning. Can you be available to meet with them? Yeah, of course. But anytime that we get something we're not sure about, I always ask you about that accountability piece. Did Joel Soffit do what he was supposed to do? Did Dean Bonillas do what she was supposed to do? Because it's not about just preaching it. We got to live by it too.
Yeah, that's true.
And I know that things, and this is just for the kiddos out there, but you feel like you live by different sets of rules, I think sometimes, and that just isn't the case. We all, life is about trying to navigate all the rules, and they seem to pass a new bill every day about something stupid. But that's the world that we live in. We have to learn to navigate that, and that's what I love. Again, K-12 schools provide a great opportunity for us to, over time, build that better human being together
Yes.
as a family.
And I always say back to the accountability piece, like you always say, did I do everything right? I always tell the kids, look yourself in the mirror tonight, and did you do everything possible right? And I tell them, I look myself in the mirror.
Do you?
And I'm like, yeah, I do. But I tell them, I'm like, hey, I look at myself, I'm like, hey, we weren't great today in athletic period. Like it wasn't where it needed to be.
Right.
And tomorrow we're going to bring it. And there's sometimes the kids, I'm like, hold me accountable too. They're like, Coach Soffit, this isn't, you're not Coach Soffit. Like you're feel like you're running out of energy a little bit. Like I got you. And the next day you bring it back, you know, and that's what it's about. And that's what creates our success that we've had leading into our last pillar, which is compete.
You just wait till you see his athletic period, man. I go in there, I get fired up every day, so I can go home happy.
There you go.
I love to compete. I love to win. Coach Munderland loves to win. I know
Yes.
Coach Oliver loves to win. I know Coach Walker. I know you like to win. Yeah. I mean, you like the
Team
Cowboys.
sport.
I know you like the Cowboys, so I don't know, but I know you like to win. But
Yes, absolutely.
you know,
You're like the Deion Sanders of Somerset.
Trying to be. Yeah, you go.
Although Bo Jackson's my favorite two-sport athlete.
but
No
we,
offense.
but I love to compete, and I think something that kids don't understand, like we have competition Friday in athletics, and it's not here's a basketball, y'all play one-on-one, who wins? It's tug of war. Sometimes it's just running to get cones in the middle, but just teaching the kids to get everything out of them. I always tell them empty the tank, like compete, like give everything that you have and compete. And sometimes kids don't know how to compete, and I tell them compete in the classroom, compete with your iReady scores, compete with your state standardized test scores, your STAR scores, all that stuff. Like compete in that, because if you start being like, oh, I got 90s, other people are going to want to get the 90. Other people are going to want to compete and be up there. And that's the thing we're trying to do. We're trying to win. And at the end of the day, teaching them how to be good winners too, because it's easy to win, but it's not easy to lose. And sometimes you got to learn to lose first before you learn how to win. And, you know, all the success that we have had, banners are going up in the gyms. They're being printed as we speak on this podcast. They are going to be up before, you know, the kids get back in the classrooms, because the kids who have earned those and have been part of those teams deserve to be recognized and see that success that they have done and to the school and the coaches as well, and deserve to see that success that they have and to show it off to other people. Hey, you come here, this is what you're going to get. You know, and show them what we have. You know, with that, you know, we have our individual state championships with track. You know, we had this year we had some runner up, but we've had Jasmine Moore and Savannah Fowler in track win state. We've had Isaiah Fingerhut and Jasmine Moore this year in wrestling win state in their class, or their weight class. And then we've had our middle school wrestling win back-to-back state championships.
Awesome.
And, you know, we're looking for another sport to get there and do that. You know, our track and field program was central regional champions in middle school boys, middle school girls, high school boys. We clean swept here in San Antonio, you know, and we're striving there. And I've always said, you know, at some point we have to set the standard. I think we've set the standard in San Antonio. When we play teams don't want to play us because we've started to win. And that's what you have to put in their head. Like, hey, we're that, but now we want to be the standard that competes with the best in Texas, in the Dallases and the Houstons, against the schools who are there every year. Because sometimes we get there and it's like, oh, this is cool. But it's like, get there and do something about the experience. Like, let's finish the experience. You know, our varsity of the softball team was state Final Four this year. You know, our middle school baseball, our middle school basketball teams are state runner-up last year. We have a lot of great athletes. We have a lot of great coaches, and we have a lot of room for more success here. You know, we're going to hang these banners up, and there's still going to be room to hang more banners. And the goal is to run out of room. I always
Hey, we got 3 gyms to fill.
And I told you, Mr. Oliver, when we put the trophies in the front of the thing, I said the goal is to run out of room and then figure out where we're going to put them.
We just about half.
I know, but you know, that's what it's about. And, you know, athletics gets me excited. It gets me excited to come here every day and work with these kids, you know, and just seeing them put in the work. And then when they do play in the game and they do well, it's exciting as the AD or as the coach. And just as a teacher, watching the success of the kids, you know, it's an exciting thing.
No, I agree. And the thing I think it blows my mind is the school's only been open 8 years, and you have 30 Central Region championships already. Even if you didn't win state titles, 30 in different sports, every sport has succeeded. I mean, this year we got to the Final Four and softball. I mean, we've got baseball, we've got we got every sport, and we're willing to add more if we get the kids that want to do that sport. I always stick to that philosophy that you should find something for every student. And we're talking athletics today in Coach's Corner, but as you know, the school principal and the deputy soup, whatever, I'm always trying to look at ways for all kids to find something they love. And it kind of blew my mind. This is a short story, and I'll get past it. But we started a weightlifting program in my last district, thinking, okay, all the jocks are going to show up, right? All the athletes, everybody wants to come and they want to work out, and they want to do these things. We had probably 20 kids in that room that had never played a sport in their life.
That's right.
And they came in there for a million different reasons. There's a couple of kids I think that probably got in there because they felt like they had been bullied by somebody in the past. There were other kids that got in there because they wanted to work on their own physique. Some of them wanted to go in the military and thought this would help. But I think the majority of the kids that came into that wanted to be part of something. They never made any of the sports teams. They never were part of anything. And have a room of 20 kids, boys and girls, all different ages, all different backgrounds, that just wanted to learn how to lift weights was really cool. And it's one of those things where whether it's a club like that for weightlifting, or whether it's robotics, or whether it's your art, your music, all the fine art stuff, dance. I want to add a dance class here so bad, a full-time dance program for kids, because I know it would be huge. And I don't know that there's a lot of them around. But those things are the things that inspire kids. And when you get, like you said, you got to teach them first how to compete. They don't know, right? And you don't know what's in a kid until they start to push themselves. And when I watch our kids do that and learn to compete in your class, it's really empowering, because that carries over to algebra. That carries over to biology, right? That carries over to writing, whatever it is.
That energy.
They've got to have the thing they love and have access to it during the day. So the things that they don't love so much, that may be difficult for them, they're willing to put in that hard work. And I think that's why I like what we're doing here with our pillars and everything. So we made some changes. What's happening down the road here? What we got going on?
We're also adding 11-man football this year. I know we had briefly.
Hey, I know a guy that played football.
Yeah.
There he is. Johnny Walker.
You know what? I meant to ask you. I had a couple of the kids out there, and like you said, we always want them to go out and compete and have fun. And I grabbed the football. They out there throwing. And, the next question was, well, you're going to coach football? You're going to coach? They asked me. I said, well, you know what? I haven't talked to Coach Safa yet.
Are we going to do that on air?
Yeah, I'll put you on the spot.
You want to join the coaching staff, Coach Walker?
We got to have somebody fill up the water jugs.
There you go.
No, that's my job.
Make sure
I got a
you
contract
have,
with Celsius.
right.
So
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Absolutely, Coach Walker. I think the more people you add
Oh,
to the thing, is important, especially starting the 11-man for the first year. There's a lot of things that when we did spring football, and that was something the kids were out there, and I was like, this isn't 6-man anymore. You have more people blocking for you, but if one person misses a block, like it's a process, and there's a lot of things that they needed to learn. And I always tell them, we're in this learning process together as well. But definitely something that people have wanted, that the parents have wanted, the kids have wanted. They want 11-man football. When we play 6-man, we'd have to go out there and tape the field and to make it smaller. Now we don't have to do that anymore. Okay. We're excited for this. It's fun. It's exciting. I'm super excited.
Coach Walker's been working on getting us an announcer. I think that's critical for us, for advertising components, to sell marketing packages and things to support the teams. But also, my former vice principal, I love this man to death till the day I die. He would go around every Friday morning, and he would walk into every classroom, pre-K through 12th grade, and demand he just hold his hand out after the first couple of weeks. They had to give him at least 2 shout outs of the kids in their classroom that did something outstanding that week.
I like that.
And so any break in action, your announcer then says, hey, You know, little Johnny Walker, he finally got his first level 3 on his iReady exam today. Let's give him a big round of applause, right? It did a lot of things. First of all, most importantly, like Coach
That's
Milo
awesome.
said, it boosts community, right?
Yes.
And parents would want to come and sit through the games and see if their kids were going to get recognized. That was a big part of it. And
That's
then
awesome.
the band was part of that too. Like football is one of those things that really does bring people together because you've got cheer, you've got band, you've got a lot of parents there working the stands, trying to help out. You know, and when you start shouting out all the kids in school that are doing great things, it really does create a bigger family environment. And we did add brand new sound systems out here, so we're gonna be rocking it. Apologize to the neighbors in advance. I love you. I'm working on something for you too, but we're gonna rock out football.
You know, they had for in a lot of especially southern states, Friday night lights.
Mhm.
Even here in Texas, that Friday night football is a tradition. We don't make plans until after the game's over.
That's
You
right.
know, we're going whatever we're going to do has to go after 9 or after 10, and I think that's a part of it. So just to hear that we are moving to 11 man and those ideas that are coming to fruition, man. Friday night, okay, come on, babe. Let's go. We're going to the game. We're going to holler and scream with everybody else. And then we'll go have a date. You know, that's awesome.
Yeah. And Coach Walker and I, he's gonna help me get some funding here for get our Jumbotron back.
Yeah.
Because that's another part of it's football, yeah, but it's soccer, it's track, it's community events. When we do our, you know, what is the book Under the Stars? What do we call that? Reading Under the Stars,
Reading
right?
Under the Stars, our teddy bear picnic,
Teddy bear picnic. We can have the Jumbotron on. We, you know,
the solar eclipse in
Oh, wow.
50 years,
You know?
or whatever many years
Absolutely.
it's supposed to happen again.
Man, it's awesome.
in 27 years we'll be ready.
Okay, yeah, we'll be ready. We'll be ready.
So, you know, there's a lot of things coming in that regard as well. In fact, we're redoing both sound systems completely. We got them up and running last year, but both arena sound systems will be redone when everybody comes back. We're gonna be able to have our dances in there, all kinds of great things. I'm hoping to have some announcers and some music for the basketball games and the volleyball games as well. So constantly shouting out our kids and the great things that they're doing. What else we got? I mean, we got more things happening, right?
Bring your friend to open gym.
Bring your friend to open gym. Hey, it rhymes.
You know, and again, you know, I know I touched on it, and it's something that, you know, Coach Munderland just whispered in my ear about making sure we talked about the NCAA. You know, it was a thing that I had to learn too, and through that process, learning and teaching the kids and having the support of Coach Washington and being able with the transcripts and, you know, Coach Lawson, you know, with his background and actually being in the NCAA portal and doing those things and playing collegiate ball, and his connections that he has and just using everybody that you have to help these kids take that next step. And again, some kids are like, hey, I'm good at high school. After this, I'm done. I don't want to play athletics anymore. Some people are like, I want to play this at the next level. I want to take this to the next level. You know, Coach Walker probably could talk more about it, you know, about how with his road to it and taking it to the next level. You know, Coach Lawson played D1 basketball as well. And it's just one of those things, you know, that one of my goals is to get kids there, like to provide the opportunity for them, whether it's JUCO, whether it's NAIA, whether it's D1, D2, D3, and being able to provide an opportunity for our kids to be able to experience that next level of thing. We're collegiate, and because of and that's our goal, is to get kids to college and to that next level, along with offering them to graduate with their associates. That's your goal, Coach Oliver.
That's good.
My goal. Absolutely.
Yes.
Hey, we're going to wrap this up. It was a pleasure to have everybody out here today. I do want to say, come see us, come for a visit, get a tour, see what we've got going on out here. 4802 Vance Jackson, right here in San Antonio. We take all kids. We are going to grow this place. We've got big dreams, big goals. We try to make those happen as fast as possible because what we do is serious business. You can't get your best gal without a ticket to the dance, right? Like we want to open doors and provide opportunities for people. That's the number one thing on my resume. I open doors. The number two thing on my resume is I carry heavy things. Those are the only two things I put. If you don't want to hire me after that, I don't need to be here. I love you guys. I will see you soon. Check us out. We'll have another Coach's Corner coming up here in a couple of weeks. Football season is upon us. Tell your friends, band is out there. Sign up at www.somersetacademytx.org. Have a great day.